beautiful people. Before we begin, I just want to remind you of something. You are not alone. Who you are on the inside is who you are. Your feelings are 100% valid, and so are you. Rites of passage. There are many rites of passage. There's the rites of purification, rites of achievement, rites of bravery, pilgrimage, funeral, births, weddings, graduations, homecomings, retirement, the end of being single, and of course, the rite of transitioning into adulthood. They are all traditions. On the macro scale, many countries and faiths are dominated by cis-driven cultures and ideals that contain traditions of passing into man or womanhood. These traditions are often marked by ritual, celebrations, trials, or all three. For example, the Hebrew bar mitzvah or the Spanish quinceañera, and the Shinto rites of Japan, just to name a few. On the macro scale, you have small group interactions like the hazing done in military or college, promotion celebrations in the workplace, or something traditionally passed down from parent to child. However, as the world becomes increasingly aware of transgender and non-binary culture, there is a growing gender revolution. I call it a revolution because we are finally gaining some strength. We are finding our voice, and slowly we are evolving our shared culture. However, what we lack is rigidly defined traditions and rites of passage. Or do we? Can you think of any transgender or non-binary rites of passage? I would love to hear your thoughts. Of course, we have our milestones that bring us joy and pride. For example, unless someone spilled the beans, are coming out to our friends, family, or out publicly, that is a rite of passage. It's a declaration that we are going to live our truth and live authentically. Choosing to medically transition or gender affirmation is another milestone, and in a way, a rite of passage for us. Lastly, we have our renaming. I feel this one is important because it is part of our social transitioning. It is part of being true to ourselves, and is about letting go of the past, which is why we call our birth names our dead names. There is no wrong way or right way to choose your name, but what matters is that you feel good about the name. It feels like you, and you respond to it as if it were second nature. Now, the worst advice is advice, but I can suggest some approaches, and I would love to hear your ideas of ways to find a new name. First, you got naming sites. There are plenty of naming sites for babies on the internet, and this is a good place to start as they often have search features by means of filters. Fictional inspiration. Is there a favorite character from a TV show, movie, or book that you identify with? Maybe that is a name that you would like to have. Paying attention to names said. On a name hunt, sometimes the name will come to you and all you must do is listen, pay attention. The names being said around you, whether it's in person or on media. Get coffee. Go to a Starbucks or coffee house where they write your name on the cup. Tell them the name that you wish to try on, and when they call your name out, if it feels good and you respond to it, then you know you found a winner. Look in a mirror. While looking in a mirror, address yourself with a possible name you like. If you can change your voice to sound like a different person, then all the better. Try giving yourself compliments or affirmations with your new possible name. You'll know if you have a winner. Record yourself addressing yourself. Record yourself asking questions while addressing yourself by one of your name picks. Play it back later, and if it sounds good to you, then you might have a winner. Text to voice. You can do the same trick with a text to voice program. You can even do it for free with some of the good ones online because they allow you to do sample recordings. Just type up some sentences that address the possible new you and see which one clicks. Be open to suggestions. Do you have any family or friends that you have trust in? Maybe they can help you find a new name. Leaving off that last one, I want to talk about my name a bit. No, I won't reveal my dead name because I've already done that. My new name was basically my old nickname, but with a change of spelling to make it sound more feminine. I respond to it well, it feels feminine, and I lucked out with it. However, I realized that I also need a middle name to pick out. This may not be needed or even wanted, but it is an option. That is where I am right now. I'm deciding my middle name, and I'm open to suggestions. I want it to sound good with my last name of White. I want it to sound musical with my first name. It doesn't have to rhyme, just sound musical with my first and last. But cool initials would be nice as well. I want it to be a reflection of my personality. My top choices so far are... First, there's Tobie Marie White. I came across Marie White by happenstance, and I thought, that really sounds good with my first and last name. Tobie Marie White. Has a little bit of rhyme to it. Then there's Tobie O'Malley White and Tobie Gracie White. These two are kind of the same because they're both based off a famous female pirate, Grace O'Malley, who I actually might be related to. Then there's Tobie Annie White. Well, this one, I'm just a super fan of Annie, and I kind of want to cosplay her for Halloween. Then there's Tobie Ophelia White. A little bit more sophisticated. I am a Hamlet fan, especially the David Tennant and Patrick Stewart version. So awesome. So, what do you think? Which one do you think sounds nice, meaningful, or provoking? Or maybe some of you have some suggestions I might consider for my middle name. Which leads us back to the subject of rites of passage and traditions. Perhaps for the trans and non-binary community, maybe a naming day is in order. Kind of like a birthday or a christening, but we choose our names, not our parents. A time where our friends or family get together for a renaming. Or maybe on that naming day, it's a big collaborated effort and everyone gets to throw their suggestions into the pot. But the person who's getting named gets final say. If this became a tradition in our community with our allies, what do you think should be in it? Would there be a meal, a prepared speech by the namee, or maybe by the bestower of names? Such an honor. But there are other milestones that we experience, but we have no tradition to go with it. What kind of traditions would you like to see become a thing for our respective milestones? What would happen on these new traditions? How would we celebrate those milestones? Would there be food, dancing, a tattoo? Now, before I leave you, I just want to give a general shout out to all my patrons and to my highest patron supporter, Ashuvyahu, and to give her channel some love, link down in the description below. And now, I want to hear from you. How do you feel about this? Do you even think we need new traditions? I'm interested either way, and I would love to hear from you all. Lastly, if you found this to be helpful or meaningful, then I encourage you to hit that like button, subscribe, ring that bell, and to check out my Patreon. All are ways that you can help support this content. My name is Tobie, and as always, stay safe. I love you all, and I think you're all wonderful.